Welcome to There's No Place Like Home, the radio show coming to you on WRXB 1590 AM and Pinellas County Connection TV. This program is presented to you as an opportunity to hear information that can help you fulfill the dream of owning your very own home. We also share information about upcoming special events and programs to help you enjoy the good life in Pinellas County, as well as other items of interest. The sponsor of this program is the Housing Finance Authority of Pinellas County, which offers the First-Time Homebuyers Program, your key to home ownership, helping people in Pinellas, Pasco, and Polk counties make their dreams of home ownership a reality. My name is Frank Bowman, and I'll be your host for today's show. My usual comrade, Jane Merlin, is not able to be with us today, but she sends her regards and promises that she will be back next month. Today, we'll be talking about a program that we've tried to present to you each year, and the fact that it is the first of the year here in January, and income tax season is just around the corner. We have a special program to talk about some ways that we can put money in your pocket. We cover this topic each year, and coming up in a few minutes is our returning guest, Eddie Birch, who's the Communications and Outreach Coordinator with the Juvenile Welfare Board. However, before I introduce Mr. Birch, I have a message from our sponsor, the Housing Finance Authority. The HFA is offering the First-Time Homebuyers Program for individuals in Pinellas, Pasco, and Polk counties who have never owned a home, have not owned a home in the last 3 years, or who are veterans. The HFA offers a low rate on its 30-year fixed-rate mortgage, and if you need a little help with down payment and closing costs, they can help you out with that with their Home Key Second Mortgage, available in Pinellas, Pasco, and Polk counties. To get your key to home ownership, call 727-464-8210 or visit the website at www.pinellascounty.org/community/HFA. And now, it is my pleasure to welcome our special guest for today. Eddie Birch is the Communications and Outreach Coordinator with the Juvenile Welfare Board of Pinellas County. Eddie works with the Pinellas Prosperity Partnership and joins us today to discuss an important program that could put money in your pocket during tax time. And we'll share money-saving tips as we prepare for this year's tax season. Welcome to There's No Place Like Home, Eddie.
Good morning, Frank. Thanks for having me.
We're very happy that you're here again, and we're also happy to help you and the Juvenile Welfare Board spread the word about these really wonderful programs. As I mentioned earlier, we do try to cover this topic each year, and we think it is very, very important to our community here. We want to talk about the great work that your organization does to let folks know about the money they may not know they are entitled to through the Earned Income Tax Credit, or I guess you guys refer to it as the EITC program. Tell us about the Pinellas Prosperity Partnership and the tie-in with EITC.
Okay. The Pinellas Prosperity Partnership began back in 2001, and it was known as the Wealth Building Coalition back then. A couple of years ago, we changed the name to Pinellas Prosperity Partnership, and basically what it is a group of organizations. Some of them are nonprofits, some of them are government organizations, and even some for-profits and some banks are represented on the PPP. And we're all interested in increasing awareness about financial asset building opportunities for low to moderate income people. Basically helping people with low to moderate incomes maximize the money that they do have. And a big part of that is promoting the Earned Income Tax Credit, as you mentioned, and providing a volunteer income tax assistance program. That's VITA for short, and that's an IRS program where they partner with organizations all over the country to provide that local service, and the PPP is the entity in Pinellas County that the IRS partners with for that.
Okay, well, for some of our listeners that may not understand what the Earned Income Tax Credit is, could you explain how that works for folks?
Sure, Frank. And I was actually surprised when I just did the math in my head that it's been around for 38 years now. 1975 is when the Earned Income Tax was enacted, and a lot of people refer to it as one of the largest anti-poverty programs that the United States has ever had, because it does the money that people get back from their EITC does lift a lot of families out of above the poverty level. As of 2012, it's estimated that 6.6 million people have been lifted out of poverty by the EITC, and half of those are children. That's the reason that the Juvenile Welfare Board is interested in being a part of this, because we know that a lot of the people that get helped by it have kids and are raising kids, and this helps them provide better for their families. In 2011 alone, 26 million people claimed the EITC and received $59 billion in EITC credits. So as you get 26 million people, about 300 million people in the United States. A lot of people are eligible for this, but only about 4 out of 5 people claim the EITC, even though it's money that they've earned and they have coming to them.
And that's one of the reasons we're real happy to have you here, because we also agree with the Juvenile Welfare Board that this is a very important program to individuals in Pinellas County, and as well as the community in general. How does this program benefit the community? I know you've got a lot of civic participation and even local banking industry, businesses and things like that. Chamber of Commerce folks, they see a benefit here. Explain how this benefits not only the people receiving the tax credits, but the community in general.
Well, it benefits directly a lot of working people that qualify for this credit, and that's money that if people weren't claiming the EITC wouldn't be coming back into the Pinellas County economy. Last year at our VITA sites, the 3,200 some odd people that we helped got $5.3 million in total refunds. So when you think about that impact, a lot of that they would have got if they got their taxes done anywhere. But when you factor in that only about 4 out of 5 people claim the EITC, you might see 20% of that not coming back to the economy if we weren't out there doing this. And that's money that, can help people fix their homes, help keep businesses open in communities where low to moderate income people live. I met a single mom a couple of years ago with 2 kids, and she likes to, when she gets that EITC refund, she pays her rent ahead for several months. It's one less thing that she's got to worry about. She knows that, whatever comes up, at least I've got my rent paid for a few months.
That's a good idea. It's a windfall, so to speak, and she makes sure that she and her family are going to have a place to live for several months, and a great use of the money. Now, the earned income tax credit is only accessed by filing an income tax form. Do folks have to have any certain level of income during the year to qualify to participate? Or
the EITC, actually, I've got the new income limits that have just been published for the 2013 tax year, which is what we're just wrapping up. And the maximum income that you can have and get the earned income tax credit, it depends on whether you're married filing jointly, or if you're single, and how many qualifying children you have. If you have no kids at all and you're single, you can earn up to $14,340. If you're married filing jointly, that goes up to $19,680. But if you have 1 child, 2 qualifying children, or even 3 or more qualifying children, those limits go up. And somebody with 3 or more qualifying children in their household, a single person can earn up to $46,227, or a married filing jointly couple can earn up to $51,567 and still qualify for the EITC. So as you can see, it captures a lot of those middle income people there. And the maximum credit can be up to $6,044 if you've got 3 or more kids.
Right.
And the maximum credit does it goes down as you earn more. It kind of it goes up to a certain level and then levels off and goes back down. But if you're right in that middle area right there, you can get back up to $6,044. So you can see why this is a terrible thing to waste if you qualify for it.
Exactly. And this is a program that helps the working poor, people who are working and getting income, but just don't have enough dollars to support their families in the way they need to or would like to. So folks who have no children may still qualify for this program?
Yeah, if you have no children, the income limits are lower, and the maximum credit you can get with no kids is $487.
Okay.
So it goes up significantly. When you have one child, the maximum credit goes up to $3,250.
Well, I can see why the Juvenile Welfare Board is very interested in making sure this program works well in our county, and because I know the JWB does a lot of work trying to help families with children all over. Now, we keep saying that to earn this earned income tax credit, you have to file a tax return. And I think one of the best features of the VITA program is the fact that everybody has to file income tax if you've worked and you've got W-2 forms at home, and the IRS is expecting you to submit that report. But in this particular program, you provide free tax preparation to folks.
That's right. Yeah, the volunteer income tax program, the key word there being volunteer. The tax preparers are all volunteers. They are certified. They have to take tests and pass these tests that the IRS puts together so that they're qualified to do this. And it's free. There's no surprise charges. You don't get charged an extra fee for claiming this credit or that credit. The Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, we can't accept any kind of exchange for providing that service. We had about 122 volunteers last year, and the eligibility goes a little bit along the lines of the EITC. We serve clients who have adjusted gross income of up to $52,000.
Right.
It's if we start doing a return and we find out that their AGI goes a little bit above that, we've got some gray area. We're not going to send somebody away if they go a little bit above that $52,000. But generally, that's the limit. Some things are out of scope. For instance, if you have business losses that you need to report, then the VITA service can't help you. But generally, most people that earn less than $52,000 can come into a VITA site. We've got 12 of them throughout the county. Bring the proper documentation, and you can be served, and they'll e-file your tax return free. And if you get direct deposit, sometimes it's in your bank account in a few days.
Well, it's a tremendous program. Now, folks who would like to participate in this, you've got VITA centers located all across the county. Where are some of those locations? Yeah,
they're spread from southern Pinellas County all the way up into Tarpon Springs. We have 12 full-time sites. 8 of them are also a Juvenile Welfare Board neighborhood family centers, so a lot of people are familiar with these sites for many services. We've got sites we've got one at Childs Park YMCA, High Point Neighborhood Family Center, Maddie Williams Neighborhood Family Center in Safety Harbor, the Daystar Life Center, the Hispanic Outreach Center here in Clearwater, Martin Luther King Jr. Family Center in Clearwater, the Enoch Davis Center in St. Petersburg, along with the James B. Sanderland Center in St. Petersburg. Those are our 2 busiest sites. The Tampa Bay Beaches Chamber of Commerce has a site out on St. Pete Beach, the Grady Neighborhood Family Center in Largo, the Lilman and Asian Neighborhood Family Center in St. Petersburg, and the Union Academy Citizens Alliance for Progress Family Center up in Tarpon Springs. Those are our 12 sites. Most of them have been around for several years now.
And of course, you mentioned that the sites are all staffed by volunteers. What's your source of volunteers, and how do they get the qualifications to participate in the program?
Our volunteers really they range from students to retirees and everything in between. We even had a couple of high school students volunteer last year as greeter screeners at our sites. We've been growing our college student participation. The USF St. Petersburg College of Business has an internship program where somewhere around 25 students every year intern and work at VITA sites, and they work anywhere from 75 hours per tax season up. And Stetson College of Law, the students at Stetson College of Law have a pro bono requirement that they must fulfill, like a lot of lawyers do once they get into practice. And about 30 of them every year do that through working at VITA sites. And then this year, Clearwater Christian College is initiating an internship program, and we have a few students that are going to be the first pioneers at Clearwater Christian College and working as tax preparers. The process, you can learn all the lessons you need and train online through the IRS's Lincoln Learn website.
Mm-hmm.
We do order printed materials, books, manuals that can help, and we let all our volunteers know. A lot of them find out about it through our taxes-for-free.com website, where we have our volunteer application online there. And when we receive a volunteer application, we let everybody know that we've got these materials here. You can come pick them up. You can do everything online. We also do offer classroom sessions to help out with that, where you actually go and get some hands-on experience using the TaxWise software that's used at the sites.
Okay.
And we are, we're working on those training sessions, and it's really it is an intensive certification process. You're gonna spend some time going through those lessons and learning that tax law, and then taking that test online. But it's amazing, what you can learn through it. You don't have to be an accountant to do this. You can learn everything through the materials that are given to you.
Mm-hmm. So everybody, if somebody's interested in getting their taxes or getting assistance in filing their taxes through a VITA site, they can be relatively assured that the person that's going to be helping them is well trained and certified in the tax preparation and in determining eligibility for EITC.
Absolutely. It is paramount that our volunteers are trained not to do anything above their scope of certification. There's a basic level certification, an advanced certification, and then there's a separate certification if you're doing something with somebody that has a health savings account, for instance. We make sure nobody does anything beyond their certification. We're real good about calling around to the nearby sites to see if if a client needs something that we don't have a volunteer there for. We'll try to arrange that they can go to the proper volunteer to get that done. And every return is quality reviewed by another volunteer certified at least that level.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not, there's two sets of eyes looking at everything. And our volunteers have thick manuals. I know you can't see it on the radio, but I brought one with me. And these contain decision trees and flow charts. And I know I've volunteered several times last year, and I didn't just try to rely on my memory. I always checked, and I think our volunteers are pretty good about that. Referring to these manuals, let's make sure that this person that doesn't think that they qualify for the EITC, let's see if they do before we assume they don't.
Right. And are you still seeking volunteers? I know it's January and the centers are open, but are you still looking for more volunteers?
We can always work somebody, and our site's open toward the end of January, so there's still time to get certified.
Okay, so they're not open as of today. They'll be open later this month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the sites are open until April 15th, most of them, if they're open on that whatever day of the week that is. And so there's always time to get certified and go out and volunteer. And even if you don't want to be a tax preparer and take the test and do all the certification, we need greeter screeners at our sites. They welcome people in, make sure they have all the correct documentation with them. And we also need language interpreters at some sites. We've got a site at the Lillman Asian Neighborhood Family Center and the Hispanic Outreach Center. So speakers of Spanish or some Asian languages could help out a lot there. And I mentioned those greeter screeners. They're really important because having the proper documentation is important. If we have a second, Frank, I'd like to mention some of those things that people need to bring with them. Yeah,
I was just going to say, why don't we let folks know how they get in touch with the centers and what they need to bring? Yeah.
Okay. The best thing to do is all of our sites have different days and hours of operation.
Okay.
So we recommend that you do call the site or go onto our website where we're going to have the hours of operation up there.
It's, and that website is what?
That's www.taxes-4-free.com. And that lists all the sites with their hours of operation. The phone numbers are up there. You can also call 211, and they know the hours of operation for all the sites. And the list of things that you need to bring is also on the website, but I'll just go through it very quickly here. You need to bring photo ID. You need to bring the Social Security card for the taxpayer, spouse, and any dependents. Or if you don't have a card, a Social Security verification letter issued by the Social Security Administration will do. It's not enough just to know those Social Security numbers. We need to see the card.
Bring the document.
Yeah, that's an IRS requirement. Helps us cut down on some identity theft. So you need to bring those Social Security cards. Know the birth dates for any dependents that are listed on your return. Obviously, you need to bring your W-2 forms and your 1099s, anything that shows income, anything that shows interest income, dividend statements if you have any of those, bank accounts that earn interest. And if you're going to do direct deposit, which we do recommend, it's good to bring a blank check because that has your routing number on it and your account number, and the volunteer can put that in so that the IRS can electronically send those funds to your bank account, so you don't have to wait for a check. You don't have a check sitting in your mailbox that somebody might come by and take off with. If you pay for daycare, it's good to know the amount that you paid for that. And your daycare provider should be able to give you a employer identification number. And if it's a family daycare home, often that's the provider's Social Security number.
Right.
So you can bring that information because you get to offset some of your taxes with those expenses. And it's important that if you're married filing jointly, both spouses have to sign the paperwork at the VITA site. So it's good to come together as a couple. Otherwise, you might have to, have us print it out and hold it, and then the spouse might have to come back and sign it, and you have to wait a little longer that way.
I know people can. You mentioned they can get this information on the website. Should people call into the sites and get appointments, or is it first come first serve? What's the options there?
Almost all of our sites are first come first serve, and usually there's not a long wait. We do recommend that you call the site just to make sure that they're open. And the Enoch Davis Center is the one site that they do appointments, but what you do is you go by there in the morning, take a number, and they're open Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 1 to 4. So you go by in the morning, get a number, and then when you come back in the afternoon, they serve according to those numbers. And early in the tax season, they open up February. Those numbers go pretty fast, so it's good to get by there early in the morning if you can and get one of those numbers there. But otherwise, just come on in.
Right. And you did mention that the sites are open right up through April 15th, filing day, but it's probably always a good idea for folks to try to get the tax obligation and the tax filing done as early as they can in the season. There's something we keep mentioning, and I think it deserves some emphasis here. All of these services are provided at no cost to the consumers, to the people coming in to get their taxes done. Do you have any kind of support for of course, most of the folks doing the work are volunteers, but you also have some local community support for operating these centers, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, through the Pinellas Prosperity Partnership, we have so many different entities pitching in to make this happen. Of course, Juvenile Welfare Board, we put a lot of work into it. Our neighborhood family centers, they provide that space for the service, and a lot of their staff also help out at the sites. We get funding. We received a grant from the IRS this year. Also received funding from Wells Fargo and Bank of America, and that helps us promote the service, advertise it, let more people know about it, and it also helps us say thank you to our volunteers.
Right.
Last year we had a volunteer luncheon at Sunken Gardens in St. Petersburg, where all of our volunteers from all the different sites got to come and enjoy lunch and tour the gardens. The city of St. Petersburg is a big supporter. City of Pinellas Park, those two, and even Safety Harbor this year, they allow us to send out information in the utility bills. A lot of different organizations help us with that outreach Tampa Bay Beaches Chamber of Commerce helps connect us to a lot of the big hotels and resorts out on the beaches that have a lot of employees that qualify for the EITC.
That would be great.
So, I just 211's a big help. I just can't even list all the people that help make this possible.
Well, it's a wonderful program, and clearly it is has a broad base of support because of how beneficial it is to the Pinellas County community in general. Now, in addition to, and we fairly quickly here, the Pinellas Prosperity Partnership not only helps people with their income tax filing and everything else, but you have some other programs that educate folks how to do more with money management. Yeah,
what we like to do is not just help people get the most of their money they can, but to make the most of it. And we worked with several banks over the past year to launch the Bank on Tampa Bay initiative. And the Bank on Tampa Bay initiative is basically to encourage people to have a mainstream financial relationship. Instead of paying somebody to cash your check, it's good to have a bank account. And a lot of the banks are willing to work with people who may have had some issues in the past and can get a bank account. And we have a financial education calendar on the Bank on Tampa Bay website. That's bankontb.com. That calendar has some listings of financial education workshops that are open to the public. You can come out and learn about a variety of things from mortgage help to basic banking. And we also have what we call informally tax talks, where we can go out and talk for about 20 minutes about the EITC and the VITA service and answer questions from people. We're always trying to get out there and connect people with more education about financial literacy.
That is so important, again, at the individual household level as well as in our community level, bringing these resources into the community. You mentioned over $5 million were brought into Pinellas County last year. And that money is spent with the businesses locally here, and so there is an economic multiplier for the whole area. So it is an absolutely wonderful program, and the Housing Finance Authority is always very, very willing to help spread the word, and we hope our listeners are going to participate. Why don't you once again give us the websites and any phone numbers that people can contact to get information?
211 is the best phone number to use to reach us by phone. Ask them about voluntary income tax assistance or their earned income tax credit or a bank on Tampa Bay, and they can connect you with the information. And the website for the VITA service is taxes-for-free.com, and for the banking information is bankontb.com. But that taxes-for-free.com can help you apply to volunteer or find information about the services.
Well, it is a wonderful program, and we are very, very happy to have you here today. We support this program so much. I think we've got you scheduled to come back in here for our March program.
Great.
The January program lets people know about this, and March coming just a short time before the income tax deadline, we like to reiterate and get people follow up again. So I would, we're almost out of time, and I would really like to thank our guest, Eddie Birch from the Juvenile Welfare Board and the Pinellas Prosperity Partnership. We also would like to thank Pinellas County Communications Department for helping us produce this show, and of course our friends at WRXB 1590 AM Radio. For more information or comments about the show, call us at 727-464-8210 or email us at housingfinanceauthority@pinellascounty.org. Remember, you can also catch past shows on the website, and you can even catch us on YouTube. Be sure to join us again next month. I'm Frank Bowman. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, there's no place like home.